Wallop on the first pitch of last night's 8th. Ready for game 2 of 3 here in Tempe. Oklahoma State and Arizona State. Tyler Paley and Alex Coyle with you. So glad to have you with us. Tyler, one more look at last night's game. Pitchers were dominant on both sides. All 5 runs, though, driven in via homer.
Such an engaging softball game, really, from start to finish. And yes, it took a little while for both teams to get their offenses rolling. Obviously, the scoring coming in the middle portion of the ball game. But Alex, you saw it as well as I did. The 2 pitchers were the stars of the show.
Yeah, on the Oklahoma State side, it was Ruby Malin, 7+ innings, and continued to keep Sun Devils off balance.
And typically, she did what's required to get your team a win. She brought her best stuff to the series opener, allowed OSU to remain in the ball game despite some squandered opportunities offensively. But today's starting pitcher, Presley Downing, really needs to continue to rely on changing those pitch speeds, locations, keep ASU off balance, and limit those big innings.
And Oklahoma State did not trail until that last swing of the game. The player that made that last swing and hit it over the yard was the player we highlighted in yesterday's Open, and we got to continue to talk about her, Kaylee Pond, setting the tone up the top of the order.
Yeah, she was so good yesterday. The home run will obviously steal the spotlight, but she did what she does best. She comes up in the clutch. She has the walk-off homer and then had another hit and also some other quality at-bats over the course of the game. She's the table setter for this ASU offense.
And that home run really set the tone. The first walk-off home run in extra innings for Arizona State since 2024. They try to replicate that excitement tonight. Lineup's first pitch and much more when we come back to Tempe. Back here in Tempe, Alberta B. Farrington Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Second weekend of Big 12 conference play. Both of these teams 1-3 in conference and trying to turn around slow-ish starts to the conference slate. Of course, Arizona State, as we discussed, Tyler, in the Open with big-time momentum carrying over from that walk-off home run last night. And they'll try to work things against another tough Oklahoma State Cowgirls lineup. We touched yesterday. They average over 7 runs per game coming into this. And the one that got the win, pitching just 1 inning last night, Mika Lupi in the circle for ASU.
Yeah, excited to see her in more of an extended outing scenario here tonight. The numbers are good. She shut the Cowgirls down in her lone inning of work yesterday. But this is a really potent offense for the Cowgirls that she'll face today.
And, of course, Arizona State trying to get them quiet early on again, just like they did in the first 4 innings last night. There's the lineup. Rosie Davis, not only was she fantastic defensively at third base, but she supplied the only 2 Cowgirl runs with a home run in the 5th.
Yeah, she had that 2-run homer, like you mentioned, great defensively. She moves up in the lineup to that leadoff spot, so she'll be the first bat that we see for the Cowgirls here today. She had batted cleanup a night ago, worked out well. Figure ride the hot hand, get her as many at-bats tonight as possible.
Another warm day here in the Valley of the Sun, 90 degrees. Couple clouds have provided some shade here to cool things off a little bit. Arizona State going with their home blacks. Oklahoma State going, albeit the road team, in some white, orange pinstripe uniforms on that first base side. Our umpiring crew for you this afternoon and night. Marty Abizitian is the home plate umpire. Tracy Laycock down the line at first, and Stephen Gould, last night's home plate umpire, down the line at third. It's the Sun Devils and Cowgirls, game 2 of 3 this weekend in Tempe. We'll wrap things up with the series finale tomorrow at 1 o'clock Mountain Time right here on ESPN+. Right-handed hitting, Rosie Davis will lead things off. We'll soon step into that right-hand batter's box. Cowgirls in at 17-8 on the regular season, 1-3 in Big 12 play. Sun Devils 21-6 and 1-3 in the Big 12. Davis in the right-hand batter's box. Mika Lupi on the rubber. Set for softball on a Saturday afternoon in Tempe. And starting off on a high note with a fastball on the outside corner. Mika Lupi known for her fantastic velocity. The movement with those pitches starting to come into her own in her junior campaign. She misses outside there. It's 1-1.
Yeah, and she'll face Davis, who we learned yesterday, strong power, especially to those gaps. She can hit it over the wall as well. Good at driving in those multiple runs here in a leadoff scenario.
Next one low was her 4th home run of the season. It gave Oklahoma State a very brief 2-0 lead. A 2-out walk in front of her before her 2-out 2-run blast. Sun Devils answered that with a 2-run homer in the bottom half of the frame. Line drive toward right, and right there is Ashley Mejia for out number 1.
A good piece of hitting, goes down, gets the pitch. She can hit it to all sides of the field. That time goes Oppo, but right at the right fielder, Mejia.
Here's Claire Tim, up 1 spot from the 3-hole last night. She singled against Mika Lupi to lead off the 8th inning last night's game. First pitch just below the zone. Maybe outside as well. Lupi came in relief of Kenzie Brown, who had 7 innings and struck out 14. Able to work around that leadoff batter, even a 2-out walk. It was helped out of that inning by a back pick at first. That's kind of a play that goes unsung in last night's game, with how quickly the Sun Devils walked it off in the bottom half. But Sam Swan throwing out a base runner to hold the Cowgirls off the scoreboard. They had 2 on and 2 out at the time. 2-0 pitch. 3 balls, no strikes. Last night's zone was fairly wide. Tonight so far, Lupi trying to figure it out. And Tyler, a much different look for Mika Lupi than what we see from Kenzie Brown. Of course, Kenzie strikes out pretty much everybody. 3-0 pitch down the middle. But Lupi, even though she has fantastic velocity, a lot more contact she finds out, but a lot of the times it's weaker contact.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she's going for. Tries to change up location, pitch speed, and she goes for that contact. Not necessarily a strikeout pitcher, although she finds those here and there as well.
3-1, and it's a 5-pitch walk to Tim. First base runner of the game is a 1-out walk in the first for OSU.
Yeah, I don't hate the way she pitched to Tim. Obviously the leader for the Cowgirls in terms of batting average, on base percentage, and not necessarily a threat on the base path, so don't hate that approach from Lupi.
Lupi, 32 strikeouts in 50 2/3 innings pitched. A strike to start the plate appearance of Audrey Schneidmiller, the designated player who caught last night's game. Schneidmiller walked twice, but was that runner picked off at first base and the top of the 8th. Nothing at 2. Completely different start to this plate appearance than the one before.
Schneidmiller talked about it a lot last night. Really good at those pro-level at-bats. Now down here 0-2. We'll see how she can work her way back into this one.
Tim at first base after a walk. The 0-2 pitch is driven to right. Line drive, base hit. Station to station goes Tim. First and second, one away for the Cowgirls in the first. Tyler, Oklahoma State threatened early in last night's game. They stranded 2 in scoring position in the first, and then the bases loaded in that second. It could have been a completely different feel had they found a way to scratch across even 1.
Yeah, it just speaks to how good Kenzie Brown was again last night. Just truly worked herself out of every scenario.
That's popped up out of play.
Here's an early test for Loopy in the circle against Godwin, who's known as kind of Oklahoma State's key RBI hitter in the middle of the lineup, known for doubles, that extra base power at the plate right now.
2-1 in front of her with a 1 away. Way in front of that one. String pulled by Loopy. Ahead again, 0-2.
Exactly where she wants to be. Switching up the pitch speeds again. Trying to get this key second out on Godwin.
A walk and a single with 1 out in the first inning. This one's flat towards center field. Last night's hero, Kaylee Pond, under it to make the catch. Her throw goes all the way to third to hold the runners. 2 down with 2 on for Oklahoma State. Gives Lexi McDonald a chance. Was not in the lineup yesterday, but did appear as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. Struck out swinging in part of the first spot in the order for Oklahoma State that went 0 for 4 with 4 Ks against Kenzie Brown. First pitch misses low and away.
Clear contact situation here. Trying to get that runner in from second. Get OSU out to the first lead of the game for the 2nd straight game.
This one's driven down the left field line and it'll go foul. That's something Oklahoma State did not do at all. You could say not do enough, but they didn't do it. Was drive the ball the other way, especially left-handers. Kenzie Brown was dominating that outside and low portion of the strike zone.
Which is somewhat surprising because this lineup, so deep, so good at spraying the ball every which way, and struggled to do that a night ago.
1-1. Just off. May have been up as well.
Looked like a good pitch from up here, but on replay, perhaps just a bit outside.
Claire Tim at second. She walked with 1 away. Schneidmiller followed with a 2-strike single to right. That's called a strike, 2-2.
Big pitch here. Even count with 2 away for Loopy. Trying to retire the hitter and escape this inning right at 20 pitches.
And strand 2 more Cowgirls to start game 2. On the route towards short. Funky hop for Ulrich. Fields clean and throws to first to end the inning. Mika Loopy works around a pair of 1-out base runners. Kaylee Pond started off for Arizona State when we come back to Tempe. Oklahoma State going with the freshman Presley Downing in game 2 of this 3-game series. A little bit of a different look and a successful start to her inaugural campaign in college softball, Tyler.
Yeah, the numbers tell us a really good story so far for the freshman. An undefeated record at 4-0 so far through 23 1/3. And she's given up 11 runs, 8 of which have been earned. But I'll tell you what, the proven winner in the circle so far in her freshman campaign for Oklahoma State.
Goes against that Sun Devil lineup. Started off by Kaylee Pond, who ended last night's game on the first pitch. Takes that one upstairs. Presley Downing, you saw the numbers. One thing we didn't show you was when she does give up contact, it can be loud. 4 homers in 23 and a third innings pitched. A little over 1 per 7. It's in there for a strike. 1-1.
Still finding her footing her freshman year, but being put in these situations early on, especially in conference play, where you can kind of take over, shut down the opponent, and escape with a win.
That one elevated toward the left side of the infield. Third baseman Davis, easy catch for the first out.
Great defense by Davis. Routine play, but she's been stellar through a game and a third of an inning so far.
And very similar look, or at least the goal for Presley Downing for what we mentioned with Mika Lupi in the top of the first. You look at a premier strike thrower, but one that doesn't strike out a ton. A lot of early plate appearance contact against a Sun Devil team that swings a lot early in counts. That's in there for a strike to start the plate appearance of Yazzie Avila, and part of that slight shake-up to the Sun Devil lineup, moved up to the 2-hole today.
Yeah, Avila had a run on a 1 walk yesterday, and she's really that speed catalyst for ASU. Move her up in the lineup a little bit, see what you can get rolling early on in the ball game.
Reached twice in 3 plate appearances. Walked and scored in that 5th inning, as you mentioned. Also was a hit by a pitch in the 7th. Downing will reset, tuck everything back in. Got the towel hanging out of that back pocket. One that she'll need today, pitching in 90 degrees with that direct sunlight, at least to strike. This one's hit hard off the glove of Davis and into left, a base hit. We saw Davis make a fantastic play on a similarly hit ball. This one a little to her left, and just one of those you got to react, and it's kind of hard to make that play a base hit.
Yeah, had to go to the forehand there, and it just skips over her glove. Got a piece of it, but in the limited sample size that I've seen Davis play, it feels like she's going to make that play 10 times out of 10. Not that time, though. Devils get their first base runner.
They found her twice to start this game. One for a pop out, one for a hit. Speaking of hitting, Ashley Mejia. 24 straight games on base for number 24 for ASU.
Gap-to-gap hitter here. She can drive runners in, move runners around. With 1 out, perfect scenario for Mejia.
Takes that one down the middle for a strike.
Outfield pretty straight away, which is good because Mejia known for being able to spray to the opposite field.
That one a flare toward second. Jones under it, 2 down. Sets up Katie Chester, who is now tied for the team lead with 8 home runs, with Kaylee Pond's walk-off blast last night. Chester 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts and a fly to deep left field.
And with 2 outs here, the infield to move back, especially because Chester, known as a line drive hitter.
Especially to that pull side of the infield. Takes the first pitch low and away. Wind that was whipping pretty hard foul pole to foul pole, left to right during pregame warm-ups, has calmed down quite a bit. Same spot to an 0. Feels like a big-time swing game in game 2 of this 3-game series for both teams. We touched on that quite a bit yesterday as well. It's low. Mejia, late break towards second, and tag is late. Stolen base for her and a ball in the dirt. Now runner in scoring position for the Sun Devils with 2 away.
It's a good pick at second base by Jaden Jones, but just not in time to get the speedy base runner in Avila.
Hasler behind the plate instead of Schneidmiller, and just unable to get that tag was Jones. 3-0, taken all the way for his strike.
Big chance here for Chester to move that runner up a bag or two, get ASU to advance this inning.
3-1 pitch with 2 outs and a runner at second. That's low and in. And the Sun Devils draw a walk. Sam Swan, a big time opportunity.
That's just a mature at bat. Not forcing anything, waiting for her pitch. It doesn't come, she'll take the free base.
One of the areas in last night's game of the big and extra innings affair, the thing you circle was what each team did with runners in scoring position and what each team did with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Oklahoma State went 0 for the game. Arizona State got just 1 hit with a runner in scoring position. It was a homer on the outside corner for a strike. Can Sam Swan find a way to drive one in, take the lead, have her team pitch with the lead for the first time this weekend? Group that was swept here at home against Utah last week. It's low and away, 1-1.
Yeah, Swan can provide that power compared with some of the other hitters in ASU's lineup. Has that clutch gene built into her.
That one in the air, right center field. Speak about that clutch gene. It's off the wall. They're going to send Chester home from third. Now a late stop. It's a run-scoring double for Sam Swan. It's second and third and a 1-0 lead.
Take what the pitcher gives you. She goes to dig out that pitch and just goes opposite field, finds the gap out there in right center. It doesn't try to do too much with it. She has pretty good speed on the base paths, able to advance to second and get ASU the first run of this ball game here in game number 2.
And a chance for a big inning in the first. 2 in scoring position for Shep. Swan, one Hop's 1976 College World Series team to get the scoring started for Arizona State. Now Shep, who has 24 runs batted in on the year, chance with 2 in scoring position and 2 out. Infield back. This one in the air, similar spot, right center. It'll hang up though this time for J.L. Austin to end the inning. Sun Devils bring home a runner from scoring position. Strand 2 more there. 1-0 Devils after 1 at Farrington Stadium. One 0 Sun Devils after 1 inning of play in game 2 of a 3-game conference slate. 11th season at the helm of the Cowgirls, Kenny Gajewski.
They've reached the NCAA tournament, Alex, every season under his leadership. Multiple Women's College World Series. He's a real program builder.
And something that Megan Bartlett has done at Arizona State, built this program back. Trying to get 2 consecutive NCAA tournaments and even further. We touched on last night her want to bring the program back to national prominence.
Loves that offensive pressure. That's how her mindset works as a head coach, and she must like the start from her Sun Devil offense in that bottom half of the first.
2-out base hit with a runner in scoring position. Puts your team up 1-0. Top two, and Mika Lupi pitches with a lead. First pitch fouled straight back by Amanda Hasler, tonight's catcher for Oklahoma State. Was a designated player last night and walked twice with a stolen base.
Yeah, really good defensively as a catcher, but one of those middle of the order players that any pitcher needs to respect.
That one in the air toward left, crashing in is Acuna. She's there for the out.
Just an efficient at bat from Lupi, forcing Hasler to go down and in, pick that one up, and just a lazy fly ball out to left.
That's something that would be refreshing to Sun Devils, of course. Not that, again, Kenzie Brown did anything bad last night. The only knock was the inefficiency. 144 pitches through 7 innings. Now working immediately ahead with a good fastball at the knees for strike one against J.L. Austin.
Yeah, my arm was in pain after that game just from watching. But such an impressive outing from Brown. Not surprising, though.
Swing and a miss, nothing but 2 on Austin, who was 3 of the 14 strikeouts last night for Kenzie Brown. Out of the leadoff spot then, dropped down to the 7-hole. Lupi worked around a 1-out walk and a 1-out single in the first inning. No strikeouts just yet through an inning and a third. This one hit pretty well out toward deep right center field. Mejia turns and watches that ball fly out of here. J.L. Austin dropped down in the order, sees more straight stuff, and demolishes that one to tie the game.
Just a great swing. Again, taking what the pitcher gives you. Not necessarily a bad pitch by Lupi, but an even better swing by Austin. Known as a contact hitter, this time puts the power on display and just carries that ball over the right center field wall. Tie game.
And struggles at times both this season and in her collegiate career. Lupi trying to find the out pitch. Went ahead with 2 strikes. Went right down at the knees, and Austin went down to get it. Her 5th home run of the season to refresh things here in the top of the second. A solo blast from the 7-hole hitter. The night after she struck out 3 times, it's Jaden Jones, the second baseman, at the plate.
Chance here for Oklahoma State to really keep this inning alive. Now the momentum shifts towards your team and your dugout. How can you keep it going here in the second?
Checks her swing. They will appeal down to third. Stephen Gould waves safe. 2-1. Checked her swing again. Holds back once more. 3-1 the count. With this 4 o'clock start, as we get closer to 5 o'clock and into 5:30, right center and right field going to become that sun field, so anything pulled that way going to be difficult for outfielders. 3-1. That miss just low and away. It's a 5-pitch walk to follow the home run. Second walk issued by Lupi.
A good patient at bat. Aside from the scoring, feels very similar to the opening 2 frames yesterday that Kenzie Brown went up against. High pitch count, not necessarily the most efficient, but a chance for Lupi to turn 2 here if she can get a ground ball.
Aubrey Jones at the plate. Freshman takes a strike at the knees. Sister of Jaden, who runs at first after the walk. That one dropped by Swan. Runner stays put.
Good situational hitter as a freshman. And you find yourself with one out. Your objective here is to advance that base runner and again extend that inning. Anything more is just a bonus.
1-1. That's popped up right field line. Long run. Mejia won't be able to get there. One hops out of play. How about the swag on her elbow guard on that left elbow area? The strap that velcros to make sure that thing stays put. Sauce.
Swagger there.
Just a piece to stay alive on that. Will be another chance with 2 strikes to find that out pitch. Last time she was ahead 1-2, it was a solo homer to tie the game. Good battle here from Aubrey Jones. I mentioned the maturity that she's shown at the plate despite being just a freshman. Start her inaugural season in college softball in a /300, 400, 500 through non-conference play. And drive one to right field for a base hit. Battled with 2 strikes, comes up fruitful and sets up 2 on in front of leadoff hitting Rosie Davis.
And this is something we didn't see so much from Oklahoma State in yesterday's series opener. Just really impressive at-bats. These are like the pro-level at-bats that I was expecting to see coming into this series. And took them a game, but they seem to have really settled in early in game number 2.
And again, the simplicity of taking the ball the other way. Especially with 2 strikes. This one on the ground, pull side, right to the bag, on to first. A great scoop. It's a double play. Avila to Chester to help Loopy out of the second. Oklahoma State ties it. A J.L. Austin home run with 1 away. We're tied at 1. Bottom 2, bottom 3rd for ASU when we come back. A 2-out RBI for Sam Swan. Oklahoma State, a 1-out homer from J.L. Austin in the top of the second inning. Sets up the bottom 3rd of the Sun Devil order and started things off for ASU, Yaya Acuna. Yaya squares, puts a bunt down right back to the circle, and an easy toss to first with Jones covering. 1 pitch and 1 out.
I like the approach. Try to get something going early, catch Oklahoma State on their heels a bit, but they were ready for it with the speedy Acuna up. And now you have Ulrich, who lit it up last night.
And her 2nd home run of the season in a big spot, bottom of the 5th, with 1 out, down 2, tied the game with that blast to center field. Just barely snuck over that wall and over the glove of J.L. Austin.
And what did we figure it went? About 211 feet.
Something like that, yeah. 210 to dead center field here. That one in the air, deep toward left this time. Tim is under it, 2 away.
Much more.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say much more efficient an inning so far for the starting pitcher, Presley Downing, here in the 2nd as opposed to the 1st.
And as we surpass 4:30 local time, you can see the impact that the shadows are going to make now for hitters, but also anybody down that left field line. It's a solar panel-esque awning here that hangs over the upper half of the concourse area. That creates some, great look, but some interesting shadows at this time of day. 2 outs, nobody on for Tade Ho-Ching. She takes it outside, 1-1. Coaching last night was 0 for 3 from the 7-hole. She tried to bunt in that 7th inning with a leadoff runner on, popped it up. Unable to advance the runner. Next two got out. Reason why we went to extras.
And a rare mistake for somebody usually so good at the small ball type situations.
Yeah, she's someone that Megan Bartlett said before the season, when there's a plan, and even though she's just a sophomore, she's going to execute that plan. That's when she succeeds, is when things are discussed and, all right, this is your approach, this is your goal. And a reason why Megan Bartlett has moved to the dugout and has been allowed to have a different aspect and relationship with some of her hitters. Managing each specific personality as they go 1 through 9. Downing trying to find her first strikeout. 1-2 count with 2 away. That's pulled foul. And into the Sun Devil dugout. Goes out down the left field line. That bounces in.
Waste pitch there from Downing, trying to, again, change the eye level, the speed. Wouldn't surprise me here if she goes back with some speed, trying to get Ho Ching on her 29th pitch of the outing.
2-2. Goes away with more slow stuff. Brings the count full. Yaya Acuna started this frame with a bunt right back to the circle on the first pitch. Brooklyn Ulrich a fly to left. Now Ho Ching battling with 2 strikes. She's worked it full. Now one in the air toward left again. Tim right under it. And a 1-2-3 frame for Downing and the Cowgirls. They come to the plate after this. Top 3 when we come back to Tempe. Another great late winter, slightly early spring day with the feeling of 90 degrees here in Tempe, Arizona. Oklahoma State back to the plate, top of the 3rd inning in the second game of 3 between these two this weekend. Arizona State a walk-off winner last night in 8 innings to get their first Big 12 win of the season. Each team with a run so far. Sets up Claire Tim to start things off in the 3rd inning. A busy afternoon for her and left in that bottom of the 2nd. A walk already for her at the plate. Jam shot, ground ball towards short. Ulrich hurries and throws. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Yeah, talk about efficiency there. Good pitch, and probably one she'd want back. Just gets kind of jammed up like you mentioned, and a little nubber out to the shortstop who makes a nice play. In on the hands. Routine the rest of the way.
Audrey Schneidmiller, line drive base hit to right with 2 strikes in the first inning for her. Takes one at the ankles. And with this Oklahoma State offense, who again averages coming into this series just above 7 runs a game, you'd expect it to be something where, you know, okay, they've got to have someone that is dominating the number, statistics, and everything. But that's not necessarily the case. It's the entire group. The sum of its parts has been fantastic. The chain 1 through 9 to be able to churn out plate appearances and put runners on. They just haven't come through yet. All 3 of their runs in this series via homer. 2-run shot last night, solo homer in this game. And now 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Make it 0 for 7 with that double play to end the top of the second inning. Slow rolling ground ball towards second. Ho Ching 2 away.
Yeah, you can see Loopy really starting to settle in there after 2 innings where it wasn't necessarily a struggle outside of that home run, but clearly that confidence picking back up. And again, we talk about momentum shifts, right? It rocks like a boat. You saw Oklahoma State with that home run pick up some momentum. Now perhaps Loopy trying to steal it back for the Sun Devils.
There's Godwin, the first baseman, fly to center for the second out of the first. Hard on the ground and through into left, a base hit. Second time through the lineup for Oklahoma State, swinging early.
And Godwin, we talked about in her first plate appearance, known more for that extra base power. This time, again, just doesn't try to do too much with it. Pitch stays middle, perhaps a little bit on the outside edge, and just pulls it right through that gap between short and third.
Lexi McDonald bounced out to short to end the first. Taps one back toward the circle. Mika Loopy, a very efficient third inning. Works around a 2-out single. Top of the order will come to the plate for the Sun Devils, starting with Kaylee Pond in the bottom half. Top of the Sun Devil order gets their second look at the freshman Presley Downing. And this bottom of the third inning, Sun Devils led 1-0 after 1. Oklahoma State tied it with a home run in the top of the second. Each team goes down quietly in the next half inning. So Pond starts it off, popped out to the third baseman Davis as we look at Riley Crandall, who comes in. So going 1 time through for Downing, and now the second time through, it's Crandall. That's on the outside corner, a strike. Both of the Oklahoma State pitchers were warming up for the game. Expected something like this. Wanted to change the look for Sun Devil bats so they can't get comfortable, can't make their adjustments. Second time through. Change up missed upstairs.
Yeah, transferred from Baylor. Came in with 2 years of eligibility remaining and brings that Big 12 experience. We talked about it a lot yesterday, how deep and tight this conference has gotten with the conference realignment a couple years ago.
Misses at the knees this time, 2-1.
Already, Alex, she won 33 games in 2 years pitching in the Big 12, which is no small feat.
6-1 this season. 45 2/3 innings pitched. 6 home runs allowed. And trails the count 3-1 on Kaylee Pons. One shy of 30 runs batted in now for Arizona State out of leadoff spot. That's upstairs, ball 4. Kaylee Pons finds a way on base again. Mentioned it coming into last night's game. She's above 500 getting on base, and just absolutely every time she reaches, she fires everybody up, and it's hard not to fire everybody up with what she did last night, especially that walk-off homer.
She's such a threat in the batter's box, and she wasted no time in that 8th inning. I mean, first pitch, and she takes it yard. She just waits for her pitch, whether that's the first pitch of an at-bat, the 9th pitch of an at-bat. She's disciplined and, as we learned last night, very clutch.
And with that walk, she's at 20 walks on the season. She's at 20-plus walks every year of her career, but with as much time as we have left this season, she's on track to blow past her career high of 29. She's done that twice. And on in front of Yazzie Avila, who singled, stole a base, and scored in the first inning. Squares a perfect bunt down and beats it out down the first base line. That's perfection.
That was an incredible bunt. Just laid it down maybe 6-7 feet away from that home plate, right down the third base line, and just beautiful. And with the speed she has, jumping out of the batter's box, it's tight, but tie goes to the runner.
Looks like Oklahoma State's going to ask for another look on the play at first.
Yeah, it's worth a look.
Teams get 2 a game. Tie one at first on a perfect bunt. She looks safe there.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to overturn that call. I think she gets her heel down there just before the ball enters the first baseman's mitt. Again, hard to overturn that call from what we're seeing.
Yazzie Avila, her foot trying to get down before the ball enters the mitt of Godwin, the first baseman.
Another angle here. Harder to see when the ball actually enters, but you see the foot there, and again, tie goes to the runner. I don't see with these 2 angles how you're reversing this to an out, but I guess we'll find out.
You couldn't find a way to piece those 2 together because that back angle showed there was space between that heel and the safety bag down that first base line, but you're gonna have to try to find something definitive as they take a look down the first base line just beyond the end of the Oklahoma State dugout. They did not have any calls overturned in last night's game. They went to the monitor 4 times, including on the big play to end the top of the 8th inning. Arizona State threw out a runner at first. And this is a pretty big call because that sets up Arizona State with Ashley first and second and still nobody out. We're going to I think stands is the understandable decision there.
Yeah, I like the challenge from Coach Gajewski. Makes sense on that tight of a play, but now Arizona State in a good situation. Like you mentioned, nobody out in the heart of your order. really working in this bottom half of the third.
Corners playing in with Ashley Mejia at the plate. Popped out to the second baseman her last time. Takes one outside for a ball. Left-handed hitter trying to extend her on-base streak to 25 consecutive games. Pond at second, started this with a walk. Avila at first, a bunt single. Just able to lay off that one low. Wind really picking up and blowing to the pull side for Mejia. She has 3 homers on the season and a 3-0 count. Crandall coming out of the bullpen just has not fired enough strikes.
Coach Gajewski earlier this year called her a bulldog in the circle. Works fast, challenges hitters, but struggling with her command early on in this outing.
3-0 right down the middle. Katie Chester on deck. She walked earlier in this game, but again tied for the team lead in homers. Definitely don't want to load the bases in front of her. Walk single in the 3-1 pitch. Up and away, it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. What a difference that a night makes for Arizona State offensively. They did not have a single instance last night where they had 2 runners on at the same time. And the bases loaded here in the bottom of the third and a chance for a massive crooked number.
Yeah, still nobody out, and you have a really solid 4-hitter coming up in Mejia.
Bases are loaded for Katie Chester. Checks her swing, and on the swing, says the home plate umpire, strike 1.
Yeah, I think I said Mejia before, but Chester, just that line drive approach here, and with nobody out, a lot of different things you can do to advance runners and advance this inning in favor of ASU. On
the ground and under the glove of Jones into center field. A late break toward the plate from Avila. She'll score sliding. It works. Contact puts pressure on a defense, and the Sun Devils lead by 2.
Yeah, that one just squeaks right under the glove of the freshman Aubrey Jones, and that's a tough one for Oklahoma State, especially not to get even 1 out on that ground ball. Big chance here for Arizona State to add on.
They're going to rule it an error. Chester will get 1 RBI on the play. He's 6. Error allows Avila to score from second base. First and second here with still nobody out in this third inning. The first 4 batters seen by Riley Crandall, unable to get it out. Chance for ASU to truly pounce on this game. 1-1. For a moment last night, starting pitcher Ruby Malin was warming up in the Oklahoma State bullpen down the right field line. Another pitcher started to toss down there now. The 2-1. Just can't find it.
Just a lack of command today. Still looking for that first out. And already closing in on 20 pitches in this lone inning of work.
Swan her last time, 1 hop the wall for an RBI double. 2 on, nobody out. 3-1 is a tapper foul down the third base line. And it is Malin starting to toss again down the right field line. The right-hander with 7+ innings and allowed 3 runs. Good look there. Sun Devils never found a rhythm against her. 3-2 in the air down the left field line. Back goes Tim, makes the catch. Both runners went halfway, trying to score there. They go back to the bags, 1 away.
Good work by Tim. First step was in, which can always be scary, but plenty of time and speed to get back and not let that ball get over her head. A big first out for Crandall in the circle.
See if that allows her to calm down a little bit, find that strike zone. Shep flied to center field to end the first inning. Takes one low and in. Getting started with a Kaylee Pond walk. Yazzie Avila a bunt single on the next pitch. A walk to Ashley Mejia loaded the bases. Katie Chester brought home 2 on a fielding error from the shortstop. So Arizona State leads here 3-1. Their largest advantage of this series. Did not lead until the final swing of the game last night. Led 1-0 after 1 here today. Inside corner, 1-1. Pounded into the ground and right to the third base coach for Arizona State.
I like the approach from Shep at the plate right now. Patience, but not sitting back either.
Josh Bloomer runs the offense down there at the third base coaching box. 1-2. Under this one towards center. Austin there, 2 down. Yes, Crandall allowed 2, but currently they're unearned. Actually, 1 would be earned with the error, would have come in anyway. But still, to get out of this, only the 2 allowed would be massive. That's flying foul down the left field line and out of play.
Yeah, it feels like bases juiced and nobody out. Arizona State was looking for a big inning. Obviously, taking the lead is huge for them, but feels like 2 runs may leave a little bad taste in your mouth after setting yourself up that way.
1-1 count. Ashley Mejia runs at second base. She walked. Chester at first. Brought home the 2 with an error. Sun Devils 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position in this inning. There's a line shot caught by the third baseman Davis. Just unbelievable play from her at the corner. And that strands 2 for ASU. They do get 2 in this third inning and a 2-run lead as they head to 4th. Sun Devils up 2 here in the top of the 4th. Great crowd again here on this Saturday afternoon turning night. Pleased with what they've seen after the raucous atmosphere here. Last night was given a walk-off homer for ASU and 2 runs for the Sun Devils in the third. Has them up 3-1 in this 4th.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open, Alex. Such an engaging softball game. I think, I won't speak for you, I was expecting more of an offensive explosion on both sides last night. I think we're still due for that in one of these final 2 games, but it was one of those where you couldn't leave, you couldn't blink, it felt like, because anything could happen, and it felt like it would be a tipping point in that game, and then sure enough, a walk-off.
Neither group has been able to take the top off an inning yet with the bats. No frame more than 2 runs in this series. Sun Devils had the bases loaded and nobody out last inning. Had first and second with nobody out after scoring 2. Couldn't bring home any more. Nico Lupi pitching with the lead for her second time. It was 1-0 after 1, and she allowed a 1-out home run from JL Austin, who's on deck. It's Hasler to start it off, and she's ahead 3-0. Lupi activates the count with 1 right on the corner. Still no strikeouts for her just yet. Couple of walks. She's allowed 4 hits. 3 singles and the home run from Austin. All 3 runs for Oklahoma State on the weekend scored via long ball. This one in the air, deep toward right, goes back Acuna. It's over her head and over the wall. Amanda Hasler with her 5th of the season cuts the deficit in half immediately.
Yeah, that's what you get with Hasler. Pure power. And again, it takes what the pitcher gives her. At time, ball outside on the outside edge, and she takes it opposite field. Elevates, and it sneaks over that right field wall. Another home run out to that side of the field, and Oklahoma State back within 1.
Lupi had allowed just 1 home run this season at 50 2/3. She's allowed 2, and now 1 booted by Ulrich at short. That puts the tying run on base. Not even out after Arizona State took a 2-run lead.
Yeah, don't let these things kind of cascade and create one issue after another for Arizona State. Settle down. You're still in the lead.
Here's Jade Jones, who walked in that 2nd inning. Spurs around a bunt, puts down a pretty good one toward 3rd. Avila tosses to 1st, a bit wide. What a great toe tap from Chester.
Yeah, scary play there for Arizona State, as that runner could have easily made it to 3rd if that ball had gotten past the first baseman. But some really good defense, as you pointed out, by Chester at first.
Just able to dangle those feet, kind of like a wide receiver trying to stay in bounds. On the sideline, legs go limp, able to tap the white bag down the first base line and get the first out. It'll go sacrifice 5-3 the put out. Advances Austin to scoring position. That's the tying run for Aubrey Jones, a single her first time out of the 9-hole. That one in the air, right center field gap. That one's going to get down and get all the way to the wall. It'll be an RBI double. Aubrey Jones ties the game for Oklahoma State.
Just goes to show how potent this Oklahoma State offense can be. They find themselves down by 2 entering this inning. But this, we talked about it yesterday, Alex, is their bread and butter. 4th, 5th, 6th innings, really where their offense becomes alive, getting to that 2nd, 3rd time through the order, and Oklahoma State rolling with just 1 out here in the 3rd, a chance to do some more, rather in the 4th, a chance to do some more damage.
First hit that doesn't leave the yard to bring home a run in the series for Oklahoma State. It's the RBI double. Sets up the top of the order to take the lead for the first time today. In a circle visit from Arizona State, trying to calm down Mika Lupi, and she'll face Rosie Davis, who hit the ball really hard on the ground, but a tough luck double play to end the 2nd. Sun Devils will get their bullpen active with Mary Peyton Hodge, the very highly touted freshman. Rosie Davis, her 3rd time at the plate against Mika Lupi. Outside for a ball. This one popped up, shallow center field. Pond right at the pitchfork. Has the out. And look, if Oklahoma State can find a way to take the lead in this top of the 4th inning, you really got to tip your cap to Riley Crandall, to stick in that bottom of the third. First 3 reached against her. 2 runs come home on an error from your shortstop. And then you retire the next 3 to keep it at just 2, limit that damage, and knowing that you have one of the best offenses in the Big 12, that can fight back for you. They already have. But a runner in scoring position and 2 away. On the ground, backhand stop, Ho Ching on to first in time for the out. Loopy loses her glove in celebration as she holds Oklahoma State just to tie the game. We're at 3 halfway through this game in Tempe. Sun Devils have not trailed in this game just yet. We enter the bottom of the 4th. They try to take the lead right back. Each time they've taken the lead, Oklahoma State has answered to tie the game. It's in the top of the 2nd. 2 more with them in the top of the 4th. And now Arizona State 8-9-1 will try to replicate what they did in that 3rd against Riley Crandall, but she was able to retire the last 3 after the first 4 she faced reached safely.
Feels like that type of series, Alex. You have 2 teams that are match up really well against one another. We're going to see 3 tight games this weekend.
It's been nothing short of fantastic so far. Every single time a team has taken the lead, the next half inning it has been tied.
Right.
Oklahoma State, our only runs came in the top of the 5th. Very brief 2-0 lead. Sun Devils tied in the bottom half before Arizona State walked it off in the 8th. This one's in the air toward short. It's Jones in shadow left for the out.
Yeah, you mentioned tipping your cap to Crandall after getting into a bit of a hairy situation there early in the 4th inning, or early in the 3rd inning, I should say, and has really settled down since. 2 runs, she'll take it, all things considered. She had the bases loaded with nobody out.
9-hole hitting Tiare Ho Ching screams one foul wide of 3rd. Fly ball to left at a 1-2-3 2nd inning. See if she can function as that 2nd leadoff batter in front of Kaylee Pond to flip that lineup card back over. Pond walked and scored last inning. Takes one up and in. Kind of love the confidence and composure, the bulldog tenacity of Ho Ching to stay in there after missed some time earlier in this season, getting hit on a similar pitch upstairs. And hits that one foul straight back to the screen. Arizona State with 3 hits in the game, 2 of them in 2 innings against Presley Downing. They went 1 time through. And with 2 pitchers warming up in the Oklahoma State bullpen and that top of the order on deck, you wonder if they're I might play matchups again if Ho Ching can reach. That's just off the plate, a full count.
Just really slowed her down there. Trying to catch Ho Ching back on her heels a bit. Just couldn't quite place it over the plate.
It's a wonder allowed here with Malin warming in that pen. Would you bring her again to face Pond? Tapper toward third. Davis flat-footed to first. 2 down. Right now they're going to keep it with Downing in the circle against Kaylee Pond. She walked to start Downing's outing. Ultimately scored on the 2-run error off the bat of Katie Chester. Made it 3-1. Pond trying to start it with 2 for Arizona State. Off speed right down the middle for a strike. Oh, 2. Freshman Presley Downing, the 2 innings to start. Now Riley Crandall, her second inning out of the bullpen. 0-2 pitch. Bounces in. Tyler, we still have not seen a strikeout in this game after we had 22 total last night.
Yeah, I was thinking about that a moment ago. A lot of contact.
Oh, yeah. Kenzie Brown struck 14. Malin struck out 8. 1-2 pitch. In the air towards center field. JL Austin makes the catch. And a 1-2-3-4. Riley Crandall is retired 6 straight. 5th inning, we're tied at 3. Back in a moment. To lead, but we've reached the portion where Oklahoma State took a 2-0 lead in last night's game with a 2-out, 2-run home run from their top of the order. It's 3, 4, and 5 for them in this 5th inning against Mika Lupi. He's allowed 3 runs on 6 hits, a couple of homers, both of them solo shots. And faces Audrey Schneidmiller for the 3rd time, a single and a ground out to second so far for her.
Yeah, kind of the epitome of the Oklahoma State depth. Such a versatile player, can do it all, and very disciplined at the plate as well.
This one in the air toward deep center field. Pond back. She's at the warning track and has the ball right there. Yeah, you mentioned that depth. Oklahoma State has shown that tonight. All 3 of their runs from the bottom 4 of the order. This is the type of game that you expect in Big 12 play. Such a deep, talented conference, especially with some of the wins that they have in the non-conference slate. Oklahoma State has a handful of top 10 wins. The start Arizona's gotten off to. Of course, Texas Tech, one of the preseason national championship favorites. These two of the top 3 teams in the preseason pool. And what has turned out to be a pretty important series. That one's driven to the left center field gap. It'll one-hop that wall and get by Acuna again into second standing with the 1-out double. Is Carly Godwin, her second in.
Yeah, that first pitch of the at-bat, she swung nearly out of her shoes. That time makes good contact and finds the left center field gap. We know how much power she packs, and that time puts it on full display to get something going here for the Cowgirls in the 5th.
Oklahoma State is going to pinch run at second base. Well, actually, hang on for a second. They were chatting over there with the lineup card, Gajewski, but looks like they're going to keep everybody in. As a mound visit comes from Sam Swan, they're going to discuss things on the infield.
Yeah, regroup a little bit, slow the game down.
Lexi McDonald, it's her spot in the order. She is going to take this plate appearance. senior from Oklahoma. That's on the corner for a strike.
Loopy not afraid to attack hitters. He's given up 7 hits so far, but really staying confident, just painting the edges.
Swan tried to steal one forward there, missed out. Oklahoma State back in that 4th inning, got their first hit with a runner in scoring position this entire series. They had been 0 for 7 coming into that plate appearance. That one's in the air, foul, and out of play down the third base line. There's an RBI double from the 9-hole hitting Aubrey Jones. They're now 1 for 10 in the series. McDonald batting with Carly Godwin at second base. A double to lead off the inning. A little flare, third baseman Avila just out of her reach.
Good hustle by Avila, but not able to quite get to that one.
McDonald trying to turn around at 0 for 2. 1-2 pitch. Tapper up the middle into center field, a base hit. They're going to send home Godwin. Throw is offline. On to second, advancing McDonald. Oklahoma State leads for the first time today.
It's a good piece of hitting. Goes right back up the middle. Pond's throw off the mark to the plate. Not sure it would have mattered. And exactly what the Cowgirls needed here as we enter the late portion of this ball game. And they finally get into the lead, now scoring in 2 straight innings.
A chopper that just finds its way over Loopy and into center field. Now they can do it again. Importance of missing a cutoff man on the way in. Puts another runner in scoring position. Single advancing on the throw for McDonald, her 4th RBI of the season. And facing Hasler, who hit a solo home run the opposite way to lead off the 4th inning. Fouls that one right into her foot. Take a look at her home run.
Yeah, we talk about good pieces of hitting, and that one is just waiting for the pitch, digging it out, and turning on it. Sending it more than 200 feet out to right center.
That's on the corner, strike. That was a look at J.L. Austin, who's on deck. Hasler has homered, as has Austin. It's Hasler here. Consecutive base hits in this 5th inning. A double from Godwin, brought home on a single for McDonald. Loopy calls time, trying to reset it again. Has not had the strikeout pitch. Another 1-2 count, looking for her first K of the game. And they're going to give an automatic ball here. It'll be a 2-2 count.
Much to the crowd's chagrin.
Yeah, Loopy thought she called time and time, but she did not, as this one's in the air, pretty well struck out to right. Might be playable, though, for Mejia, just into foul ground. Tagging, getting to third. Safely is McDonald, 2 away.
Good tracking by the right fielder there, and Ashley Mejia into the sunlight. Hard to stare up straight into the sun. She stays with it. And a good play to tag by McDonald to get the extra bat.
And we're at that time of the day we mentioned earlier. From 4:30 to almost 6 o'clock, the sun field and right, pretty difficult to play. Especially here in Arizona, the high skies and the intense sunlight. A good look here of the shadows here at Farrington Stadium. A lot of different looks, and we kind of past the point where it'll affect any batters, but defensively it's tough. That's outside.
For what it's worth, kudos to our crew behind the scenes as well. Battling those with the cameras is no small feat.
Oklahoma State leads early. Swing and miss for strike 2. Should say leads in the later portion of this game. Their first lead of the game. Trying to make it 2. A runner at third and 2 outs. Miko Lupi trying to finish off her 5th inning of a strike. Ahead 1-2. Here it comes. Upstairs. Lupi has not struck anybody out. Oklahoma State's 2 pitchers, 0 Ks for them.
Really important for Lupi here not to over-engineer this next pitch. A chance to retire the side, potentially earn your first strikeout. Doesn't matter how you get the out, just matters that you end this inning and head back to the plate.
On the ground, right back to Lupi. On to first to end the frame. Cowgirls take their first lead of this ball game. Lexi McDonald, a base hit to center, brings home Godwin. How did the Sun Devils answer? We find out next. Fans have stretched here at Farrington Stadium, bottom of the 5th. Sun Devils trying to give those guys more to root for in this bottom of the 5th inning. And Tyler, I think you need that cowboy hat.
Yeah, I feel like you have it in your closet to loan me, don't you?
Okay, well, I'll trade you that for the overalls. Deal?
Deal.
Okay,
deal.
Done.
Tomorrow's broadcast will be a real fun time.
Right now, those guys giving it to Oklahoma State, trying to heckle their way to a Sun Devil victory. Sun Devils bat trailing for the first time today. This one in the air, pretty well hit towards center, but playable for Austin. 1 pitch and 1 out off the bat of Yazzie Avila. And all of a sudden, you look down, you look at the score sheet, and after struggling through the first 4, Crandall has retired 7 in a row.
Yeah, it was a rocky start when she came in the ball game. And the Sun Devil bats have really quieted down, and she settled in nicely. They need to find some sort of ignition here in the latter portion. Get something going, tie the game once again.
Ashley Mejia extended her on-base streak to 25 games with a walk back in the 3rd. That one tapped off the end of the bat towards second. Sidearm toss from Jones, 2 away.
Yeah, just a jam shot there. Nothing doing for Mejia on that one. Such a good hitter, too. Probably wishes she had taken that pitch just like that. Another out recorded by Crandall, trying to get through the 5th unscathed.
Crandall's not allowed any hard hit contact so far in this game. The trouble she got herself in the 3rd was self-induced. Walk, single walk. 2 runs came in on an error. And since then, she retired everybody. Trying to go perfect through the 5th inning here. Nice catch there in the stands. There have been some really good plays there from the fans so far. Again, I asked you, Tyler, you gave me homework last night. Did you bring your glove to the ballpark?
It's in my backpack.
Okay, where?
Just in case.
Prove it. 1-1. One of those plastic kitty gloves that they give away.
That's right. Or the popcorn bag I snagged earlier.
Ooh, that actually sounds really good. 3-1. Chester a walk, brought home 2 with an error off her bat. Her last time back in the 3rd. Takes a strike, full count.
That's a close pitch. Probably one you can't take if you're Chester. We talked about it last night. There are a few players for both sides who can really change the complexion of a game with one swing. She's one of them.
One swing would tie it. Full count pitch. In the air, center field and deep. One swing has tied it. Katie Chester's 9th of the year.
Pure power from Chester. Sees the pitch, middle, waits back on it, and then just tanks it over that center field wall. A no-doubter off the bat. Power, but more of that line drive hitting, right? Doesn't try to do too much with it. Ties the ball game.
And takes a pitcher's pitch out of the ballpark. Here's Sam Swan. She's got power. RBI double for her already in this game. One swing would give them a lead. 4-4 the score. Bouncing ball right side. Jones, momentum takes her to first in time for the out to end the inning. Every single half inning following a team taking the lead. The trailing team fights back to tie. We go to the 6th, knotted at 4. Top of the 6th inning, Oklahoma State trying to find a way to fight back. The seesaw has been in full effect this weekend. Neither team has been able to get 3 outs consecutively pitching with the lead. No team has been able to hold a lead through a frame. Same story with Katie Chester's 2-out solo home run in the 5th. Ties us at 4. 8-9-1 for Oklahoma State in this 5th against Mika Lupi. Alongside Tyler Paley, Alex Coy with you. Glad you could join us. Game 2 of 3 from Tempe this weekend.
Yeah, great series so far. Two teams that match up really well against one another, and both with high expectations this year.
Owens driven, but fouled on the left field line.
We talked about it a bit yesterday, Alex, but a series like this, while yes, early in the conference slate, obviously just the second Big 12 series for both these squads, has
bouncing ball toward Ho Ching, underhand toss one away.
Just to finish that thought, just has so much potential to set you up the rest of the way. For Arizona State, obviously dropping all 3 to an unranked Utah team, not the way they wanted to start, and a 1-2 record against UCF for Oklahoma State. This changed the trajectory of the season for both these teams.
Swing and a miss as Aubrey Jones comes up empty. Probably a good half hour from the shadows not being a factor anymore in this game. Shadows won't be a factor until late in the game tomorrow. 1 o'clock first pitch in the series finale. Will the Sun Devils look to sweep, or will Oklahoma State look to take the series with the last 2? Little game in this set. Took extra innings last night for Arizona State to walk it off with a home run from Kaylee Pond in the 8th. They've stayed tight in game 2. That's upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes on Aubrey Jones. Her sister Jaden started this one with a ground out to second. Two.
Aubrey looking for perhaps a little redemption from that defensive error that allowed Arizona State to get those 2 runs back in the 4th, or in the 3rd inning, that is.
She partially did redeem that with a run-scoring double back in the 4th inning. Once time, not granted it, and takes strike 3 on the inside corner. That was interesting. First strikeout of the game, 2 away.
One for the pitcher and one for the hitter that the umpire is not allowed. This time, Lupi sees it, capitalizes, just goes pure speed to get the K.
It was down to 4 on the pitch clock when she asked for that time, was not given it. That's a big out with the top of the order and Rosie Davis at the plate. Arizona State will have the bottom half of its order due up in the bottom of the 6th as they look for consecutive last at-bat wins. Just missed the spot there, 1-1. Mika Lupi can get her first clean inning with an out here. Has not sent Oklahoma State down in order yet. A strike away from doing so.
Attack the hitter. That's been the mentality for Lupi today. And a whole lot of contact. Trying to get out of this inning once more.
Facing Davis for the 4th time. The 1-2 pitch. Low and inside. Davis, a 2-run home run. Only 2 runs scored for Oklahoma State last night. Today, a fly ball to right. Bounced into a double play and a fly ball to center. 2-2 with nobody on and 2 away. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lupi goes all the way to the 6th without a strikeout. K's the final 2 and gives her offense a chance to take a late inning lead. We're tied at 4, bottom 6 when we come back. Bottom half of the Sun Devil order going to get an opportunity. Looks like we're going to start with a pinch hitter for Arizona State. It's Ryan Brown, who pinch hit late in last night's game. We spoke about her immense power. It's been the weekend of the home run. Big homers on both sides. Most recently was Katie Chester with 2 outs in that 5th inning. That tied the game at 4 in front of the young fans here in Tempe. First pitch taken down the middle for a strike.
You feel like as you approach the late stages, Alex, of this game, the next run, could it be the deciding one? Perhaps, but then again, we've seen the seesaw in action all night long.
Brown is a pinch hitter last night. She lined into a double play. Takes that one low. That's close, but just below the knees.
A good eye by Brown, waiting for her pitch.
This one in the air, deep to center field, and that ball is gone. Sun Devils lead. Off the bench, Ryan Brown, a mile to center field.
Yeah, that one was absolutely smashed. Knew it right off the bat. The bat flip. And Brown gives the Devils another lead. I said it just a moment ago. You got to wait for your pitch. She saw an absolute meatball down the gut and said, sayonara. That one way out of here.
Now can they add more? A lead-off blast puts him in front. Yaya Acuna steps through and takes it just a bit low. Again, every single time a team has taken the lead, the opponent has answered to tie the game in the next half. That's why it's important for Arizona State to get more than just the 1 run. On the corner strike, 1-1. Sun Devils led 1-0 after the first. Oklahoma State tied it in the second. 3-1 after the third. Cowgirls tied it in the 4th. Jam shot pop up off the screen. Oklahoma State took their first lead in the 5th inning. Sun Devils tied in the 5th with a homer. Take the lead in this 6th with the same thing. Yaya is 0 for 2. On the corner, called strike 3, and the first Cowgirl strikeout of the game is the first out of the 6th.
Big out there for Crandall. Important not to let things spiral here in the 6th. Try to escape this inning down by just a run and give that high-octane offense a chance to tie it once again. But she's not out of the woods yet with Ulrich up now.
Ulrich, a 2-run home run to tie the game last night in the 5th inning. Takes one off the plate. If Oklahoma State can hold this deficit just to 1 run, it gives the 2-3-4 portion of the order to grab 1, tie the game, and maybe even take the lead. Two and out.
We saw Ulrich, primarily a contact hitter, show off a little bit of power last night. More of a pull hitter, but can spray it every which way.
Slow stuff just gets her over in the zone. 2-1.
That's just a beautiful changeup. Keep the Sun Devil hit her off balance.
That one chopped toward first. Short hop right in the glove of Godwin. Just tags Ulrich. Right on the bottom of the mask there. Didn't mean to. 2 away.
Little love tap.
Here's Nine-hole hitting Tiare Hoche. Arizona State likely to go back to Mika Lupi, try to finish off this game in the 7th. Sun Devils currently holding the slimmest margin. That's into center field, a base hit. Hoching aboard, good speed at first. Representing insurance, here's the top of the order and Kaylee Pond.
Yeah, just what the Sun Devils need. Extending this inning. Nice piece of hitting from Ho-Ching. Put that ball back right where it came from.
And at least put some more game pressure on the Cowgirl defense. Now you have to face the top of the order. Pond going to see Crandall for the 3rd time. She's walked. She's flied to center field. Megan Bartlett going to come out of the dugout, chat with the home plate umpire about a possible pinch runner. Ho-Ching going to trot toward that 3rd base dugout. They will bring the Honda Lewis in to run, the junior infielder. So Lewis runs for Tiare Ho-Ching after her 2-out single in this 6th inning. Sun Devils have taken the lead on a leadoff pinch hit home run from Ryan Brown. Pond waves one outside, 1-0. Lewis just 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts over at first. On is the pinch runner. On the corner is strike. Pond has scored a run with a walk. Her 2 outs are in the air. On the ground sharply towards second. Jones flips to her sister, cover in the bag, and that ends the inning. Arizona State takes a lead to the 7th. It's Ryan Brown off the bench. 5-4 Devils. We have played 14 innings in this series, and no lead has held in the next half inning. Arizona State with a walk-off home run last night. That's the difference. They took a lead on a home run in the 6th. Ryan Brown off the bench makes it 5-4. Can they hold a lead in this top of the 7th inning against the best part of the Oklahoma State order? It starts with the 2-hole hitting Claire Tim, who has walked and grounded out twice in this game.
Tim, a big impact a night ago for Oklahoma State. Trying to make her impact felt in 2 consecutive games.
Ridgway safely 3 times. Taps this one back to the circle. Lupi calmly throws to first, 1 away.
I just didn't get much on that. Ends up with a little dribbler back to the circle, and routine play for Lupi. 1 down, 2 to go.
Audrey Schneidmiller showcased her before last night's game. Takes a strike. She's 1 for 3, a single all the way back in the first against Loopy. Has grounded to second and flied to center field since. In the air, deep toward right, but foul, and it lands harmlessly. One hops into the bullpen area, and an 0-2 count. Loopy did not have a strikeout until 2 outs into that 6th inning. She struck out the last 2 of that frame. Got Tim to ground out to second, way in front of Schneidmiller here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Velocity gets it by her. It's gotten better with age through this game, and the Sun Devils are not away from 2 straight to start the home series.
Pure confidence in the circle this inning from Loopy. Feel like the game has been kind of building up to this, right? There were some shaky moments. Now a bit of a visit to try to settle things down and lock this one down for ASU. Just an impressive first 2 plate appearances for Loopy in this 7th.
It's Carly Godwin who will step in. She's hit the ball hard all 3 times. A fly ball to center in the first, a single in the 3rd, and a double off the wall in the 5th inning. He scored a run in that frame. Godwin went 0 for 4 last night with 2 balls near the wall and left. Sun Devils were swept at home last weekend against Utah. Trying to flip the script on Oklahoma State and take the first 2. Did so in dramatic walk-off fashion. Tonight a goal. A 6th inning home run, the difference for them here. First pitch is just off the plate. Loopy wants to retire the final 8 of this game. Catches the corner this time. It's 1-1. On the ground and foul. Final strike time for the Cowgirls.
No time to let up for Loopy. You're 1 strike away from securing the complete game victory, but as we've learned and as you outlined at the start of this inning, all it takes is 1 swing to change everything.
1 swing ties this game. Cowgirls with 2 home runs in this game. Sun Devils lead by a run. A strike away. Chop foul.
Good at bat here by Godwin. Staying alive, trying to make it as difficult as possible on Loopy.
Tagged down the line, and it's pulled foul. Home run distance just out in front. Can Carly Godwin battle and extend the game? Chopper, shortstop Orange has to hurry the throw in time to end it. Arizona State back-to-back last at-bat victories. They take the first 2 to start this 3-game set.
That's a gritty, gutsy win for Arizona State.
We wrap things up when we come back to Tempe. Arizona State takes game 2 of this 3-game series. They've already clinched the series victory. They can try to find a way to sweep it at 1 p.m. tomorrow. But first, Tyler, let's take a look at how this game transpired, of course. And look, Arizona State, and looking at last night's game too, the home runs were the story, of course, and the home runs the story for Arizona State in this one, especially late. Katie Chester to tie it in the 5th, and Ryan Brown, of course, in the 6th, ultimately win the game.
Yeah, tank shots from both of them, and more so to me, it puts on display the clutch factor of this Arizona State team. We know they have the power. We know they have the ability to spruce things up, and now they go for a sweep tomorrow against a really good Cowgirls team.
5-4 the final score for Tyler Paley and our fantastic crew. Alex Coyle saying so long from Tempe, Arizona. All games airing on ESPN family of networks are streamed live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.